Hi, this is Shadi, and today we're gonna be discussing ground techniques for self-defense. Particularly, they were designed for women's self-defense. So the way we're gonna do this is I'm gonna actually look into the book called Self-Defense for Women, or in Japanese,婦人護身術. This book was translated by Shahan, the same man who translated the book or the Tiger Scrolls into the book Jujutsu 1913. I'll link the video at the end. So this video, like I said, we're gonna be looking at depictions and read what it has to say about them. So just a little bit about the author and the book. So the author, or her pen name actually, is Nohata Showa. Her real name is Nobatake Yaiko. She founded what is called the Fujin Shobukai. Fujin means married woman, Shobu is warlike or militarism, and Kai is like institution. So same like as you would say Dai Nippon Butokai, Budokai, etc. I've reached out to Eric and I asked a little bit more about the author. He says that there's not much about her background, or particularly her martial background, like which koryu she actually belonged to, where did she actually get those techniques, and a lot of things are just simply missing. So I reached out to him. He was very quick to respond. He's very responsive. He's very helpful. Again, I truly appreciate what he's doing. I'll leave a link for his book in the description. So before we start, let's take a look at the target areas for the Kyusho, or the vital points. I was extremely impressed by the naming of the groin secret bag actually. There is water moon, you have shadow of the moon, you have lightning bolt. You can pause and read them slowly at your own pace. We're gonna be looking at this after each attack to understand where we are actually attacking. So it's very important. So the first one here, this is a standing technique, but all the rest are going to be ground. This is what it's called ukuri gama. Ukuri is sliding or sending towards, and gama is your sickle. So this is your classical o sotogari. You push the lapel hand, you pull down on the sleeve, and then you do o sotogari. This one is actually called hiza kujiki, or knee break. You have one leg above the head and the other is not really showing, so it's on the rib cage. It's someone as if they're being seated for the juji getame. So here, hiza kujiki, knee break with cross-shaped hold. It says, if even after having been felled, the opponent resists, take the opponent's hand in a reverse joint lock, thread his arm behind your knee and squeeze. So I'm guessing it's like a figure 4 armbar till this will break the arm. This method uses the knee to apply the waza technique. Thus it is called hiza kujiki knee break. Knee break is ultimately referred to as juji getame, or cross-shaped hold. So I'm guessing if it's threading that it's behind the knee as it says in the depiction, I would imagine it's like you have one leg. Let's see it here. So you have one leg above the head, and here the other one, instead of blocking the ribs from moving, you actually do like a figure 4, put it underneath the leg that's blocking the head, and thus the name hiza kujiki. I would guess that's why it's called that, because here in this one there's nothing that's being thread behind the knee, only the head basically, but the other one, it's not actually. This one, remember a while back when I made a video called, I believe, Judo throws and submissions for life or death situations, something like that, and I included dojime in particularly for these situations when someone forces themselves between your legs, i.e. sexual assault. For anyone that might experience this, I particularly said dojime is one of the best things you can do. So here it says it's called hara seme, attacking the stomach, also known as dojime, strangling the abdomen. Use this technique for the dangerous situation when the opponent had forced himself between your legs. You should grab the villain's eri, collar, and at the time At the same time, wrap both your legs around the abdomen of the opponent with the heart of the back of the both knees pressed into the kyusho known as denko, lightning bolt. So it's like the lower abdomen, almost like kidney region, all the soft tissues, there's no ribcage there. And lock your legs. This will result in the opponent passing out from the lack of oxygen. In order to revive the person, you can use the resuscitation techniques. I will show them later in a depiction. The position of this vital point is shown in this first illustration. So let's take a look at the lightning bolt or the denko. So here you see it's written denko, and it's pointing towards the lower abdomen, right above the pubic area. So it's where you squeeze, where you have the kidneys, where you have the lower ab, the core, not on the ribs. Far easier to do. Here, this one looks like your mount or tate shio gatame, but this is actually another choke. This is what you basically call your chest compression. Let's see what is actually written about it. Again, I find these techniques rather subtle, but at the same time very effective. It's called Umano Nori Katame, horseback grip. This technique is done after you have thrown the enemy down, as in illustrations 5, 6, and 8. There's stuff like ogoshi, seranage, etc. Like very basic stuff. We've all seen them, but I figured I'd put the most interesting one, which is the ground technique. Should the villain continue to resist, then you should do a horse mount as shown in the illustration. You should focus all your strength in your chest, which will force the hands down. Pressing strongly into the center of the opponent's chest will result in the opponent passing out from lack of oxygen. So this is the definition of what we call a chest compression. Usually, the easiest way to get into the chest compression is from keiza gatame, also the mount. I'm sure many of you consider tapping out from the pressure of the mount, and this is exactly what was happening to you. A lot of people actually do tap, like Travis Stevens against Flavio Canto back in the day. So here you see center of the chest, and it's pointing the arrow between the two pectoral muscles. So this is where you actually apply the pressure. This one here, I found the naming of it rather interesting. It's called ashi garami, but if you see the legs, they're kind of like a butterfly guard, and it explains that your feet should be where the thighs meet the hips, and then you kick upwards, and then you kick them backwards. So it's basically like a tomoe-nage, or what we call in BJJ a balloon sweep. So my thought or guess is it's called ashigarami because maybe sometimes you get to put the feet like a butterfly guard or inside of the thighs, hence it would create more of an entanglement rather than just like here on the hips. Again, I don't know why it's called ashigarami. This one here is a different one. It's called sutemi no kata. It says after you sacrifice yourself, this is the position that you should be ending up in. So the first one here, you're already on the ground, so you're not sacrificing yourself. But this one here, it says sacrifice as in you fell down on the ground on purpose to throw the opponent. Here you see the resuscitation technique that I've mentioned earlier. You have, if you are one, you only grab the hands and then you push them and pull them towards you and back towards the opponent, and the other one presses on the stomach. So it's a very interesting book. It's very easy to finish. It's rather slim. Again, there's other classical techniques like ogoshi and seranage, ippon seranage. I did not add them because I figured there's much more interesting techniques. The ground ones, I found them more interesting to discuss. So if you have anything else to add, let me know down below. I will leave the link for Eric Shahan's list of books. I highly suggest you purchase them. And if you have anything else to add, let me know down below. This was Shadi, and thank you for listening.